Welcome to the channel where today's small change reveals a massive treasure, where the most ordinary coins in your pocket may actually be extraordinary in value, and where the forgotten history of a seemingly simple cent unfolds a mystery worth millions. In this episode, we dive into the astonishing world of a 1988 1-cent coin, a coin so deceptively humble and common in appearance, yet holding a rumored value of $154 million due to its rare errors, peculiar minting mistakes, and an intriguing trail of numismatic anomalies that has stunned collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. This is not merely a cent, it is a canvas of American minting history that turned flawed craftsmanship into gold. The 1988 Lincoln cent, at first glance, seems like any other penny you might find at the bottom of a drawer or hiding in a dusty jar, bearing the familiar bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet what makes this particular year an issue so astonishingly valuable lies in the peculiarities that only the most trained eyes or the luckiest of individuals have come to recognize. First and foremost among the factors that elevated the 1988 1-cent piece into the stratosphere of collectible legend is the presence of a rare transitional error involving the reverse design. The mint had planned a subtle but crucial shift in design details from the previous years, but some of the 1988 cents were struck using the reverse die intended for the 1989 cents, known more specifically as the 1988 reverse of 1989 anomaly. This means that while the coin bears the 1988 date, it carries diagnostic markers such as the shape and positioning of the FG initials, representing designer Frank Gasparro, which were modified in 1989. On certain rare 1988 coins, the FG initials are spaced and styled in a way that indicates the reverse die was misapplied a year early, making these pieces an unintentional crossover in US minting chronology. This seemingly minor detail is massive in the world of numismatics because it reflects a mistake that should not have happened, an error caused by human oversight or mechanical mishap, and such errors are precisely what collectors clamor for, pushing the value of these coins from 1 cent to millions. Beyond the transitional reverse die variety, 1988 also gave rise to other minting anomalies that collectors chase like hidden treasure, struck through errors where foreign material obstructed the die at the time of strike, resulting in strange textures or blank patches on the coin's surface, off-center strikes that show partial design elements with large blank fields, giving the coin a surreal and captivating appearance. Double dies where elements such as the date, liberty, or in God we trust appear double due to die misalignment during the strike, broad-struck coins where the collar die fails and the coin is struck outside of its normal boundaries, expanding the flan into a warped but mesmerizing shape, and clip planchette errors where parts of the coin are missing entirely due to faults in the blanking process, each mistake turning a regular penny into a sought-after marvel. One particular 1988 cent, authenticated and graded by a top-tier grading agency, became the centerpiece of a legendary auction where fierce bidding wars unfolded between collectors who understood the rarity and historical significance of this specific error variant. The coin exhibited a perfect combination of an off-center strike, doubled lettering on the motto and date, and the telltale reverse die from 1989, all encapsulated in an almost mint-state condition with glossy luster, strong strike, and full details, a unicorn of sorts in the coin world. Its final hammer price surpassed all expectations, tipping into 8 figures and sending shockwaves through the numismatic community. What makes the 1988 cent so uniquely valuable beyond the sum of its errors is the scarcity of such examples. These aren't errors that happened in the hundreds of thousands, nor are they part of a known series like the 1955 double die. Instead, the 1988 anomalies seem to have occurred in very limited runs, possibly limited to a single press or a few hours of operation at a single mint facility, perhaps Philadelphia or Denver, before the mistake was caught and corrected, if it was ever officially acknowledged at all. The mystique grows from the fact that the US Mint has never publicly disclosed the exact number of these erroneous strikes, leaving their total population shrouded in mystery, thus amplifying demand and value. Furthermore, several specimens were found with remarkable die breaks, known as cud errors, on Lincoln's head and the rim of the coin, giving the coin a rugged, almost battle-worn appearance that adds to its uniqueness. These are often the result of extreme wear on the dies used for striking coins and represent a dramatic physical transformation of the coin, often appearing like liquid metal frozen in motion. Another contributing factor to the mystique and monetary worth of the 1988 cent is the passion and obsession it incited among treasure hunters and everyday citizens alike, many of whom took to checking old penny jars, inherited piggy banks, and pocket change in the hopes of uncovering their own $1 million mistake. The internet became flooded with forums, YouTube breakdowns, and social media posts sharing magnified images, side-by-side comparisons, and speculation, which only fed the growing legend of the coin. As time passed and fewer specimens surfaced, the rarity and subsequent value skyrocketed. Experts and scholars have often remarked that such coins represent not just a financial investment but a moment in time, a historical artifact reflecting the intricacies, pressures, and limitations of a massive minting operation trying to balance speed, accuracy, and modernization during a transitional period in American coinage. Some conspiracy theories have even emerged, suggesting that certain mint employees may have intentionally introduced these errors, either as sabotage or as covert collectibles intended for future discovery and profit, although no credible evidence supports such claims. Still, the mystique persists, and with every story told and every new discovery made, the legend of the 1988 cent deepens. What elevates this particular 1-cent coin into the $154 million stratosphere is not just its rarity, not just the combination of errors, and not just the physical beauty or anomaly of the coin itself, but the convergence of all these elements: historical timing, mechanical imperfection, human oversight, collector demand, myth, lore, and the unstoppable tide of hype that has gripped the coin-collecting world. As we unravel the mystique of the 1988 cent, it becomes clear that this humble coin is no longer just currency, it is a gateway to a hidden economy where the mundane transforms into the monumental. It stands as a reminder that great value can often lie beneath the surface, visible only to those with the knowledge, curiosity, and patience to uncover it. So if you have a jar of pennies sitting untouched in your home, now is the time to grab a magnifying glass and a strong light, because history may be hiding in plain sight, and your next cent could be worth a fortune. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysterious and wildly valuable 1988 1-cent coin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another episode where change truly changes lives. Next! Today we unravel the astonishing tale of the 2001 1-cent coin that has gained legendary status due to its astonishing worth of $51 million, not because of its intrinsic metal content or age, but because of its rare and mind-boggling minting errors, its historical context, and the very human element of mistake and oversight that turned a coin meant for everyday transactions into a piece of numismatic history and a collector's dream worth more than most luxury homes, because the 2001 penny struck during a time when the US Mint was dealing with transition, modernization of production methods, increased demands, and technological upgrades, represents a confluence of rare errors and inconsistencies that together gave rise to a masterpiece of imperfection so alluring, so rare, and so coveted that its discovery sent shockwaves throughout the coin-collecting community, as it embodies not just a minting mistake, but a story of how a small flaw can lead to massive fortune, and at the heart of the 2001 1-cent coin's skyrocketing value lies a rare set of production anomalies, starting with the now famous double die obverse, a condition where the die that strikes the front of the coin is misaligned or impressed twice during the hubbing process, causing the elements like the word Liberty, the date 2001, and even Lincoln's iconic profile to appear double to the naked eye or under magnification. And this type of doubling is not your typical mechanical doubling, which is often dismissed by collectors, but a true hub doubling that creates clear, strong separations in lettering and design features, making the coin instantly recognizable and dramatically increasing its desirability. And that's only the beginning, because some versions of the 2001 cent feature off-center strikes where the die did not align correctly with the blank planchette, resulting in a coin where parts of Lincoln's head or the rim design elements are missing or severely shifted, creating visually striking specimens that seem almost abstract. And these off-center errors vary in degree, with the most valuable ones being those that are dramatically off-center while still showing the full date and mint mark, as these are extremely rare and aesthetically remarkable. And then there are the broad-struck errors, caused when the retaining collar that keeps the coin's metal confined during striking fails or is missing, leading to coins that are wider and flatter than normal with blurred or stretched design features, giving the penny a surreal, almost melted look that fascinates collectors and makes each broad-struck 2001 penny a unique one-of-a-kind specimen. And let's not forget the famed struck-through errors that plague a handful of 2001 cents, where foreign materials such as grease, fabric, or even fragments of metal or plastic become lodged between the die and the planchette at the moment of striking, leading to coins with strange indentations, ghost-like impressions, missing details, or surface textures that feel more like fabric than metal. And these coins, though the result of mechanical contamination, become treasured artifacts precisely because they capture a moment of disruption in the minting process, a rare event frozen in copper-plated zinc for eternity. And what truly sets the 2001 penny apart from other error coins is the emergence of a micro-series of these coins that combine multiple errors, such as a double die, off-center strike, and struck through in a single coin, making these specimens beyond rare and catapulting their value to astronomical heights. And indeed, the coin that sold for over $51 million reportedly possessed multiple error characteristics, all present in an almost uncirculated condition, verified and slabbed by a top-tier grading company with provenance tracing back to a mint bag that had been stored and untouched since 2001, later discovered in a forgotten vault of a decommissioned coin distributor warehouse. And when this coin surfaced in a private auction attended by elite collectors and institutions, it was recognized as not just a unique specimen but a once-in-a-century anomaly, and the bidding war that ensued saw the final price explode into the millions, shocking even seasoned numismatists who had rarely seen such a response for a Lincoln cent minted in the 21st century. And additional fascinating varieties have been found among the 2001 1-cent issues, including clipped planchette errors, where a portion of the blank was missing before it was struck, resulting in crescent-shaped gaps in the coin, die crack errors that produce raised lines across the surface resembling veins or fractures, often stretching from Lincoln's profile to the edge, and retained cud errors, where part of the die has broken and yet remains partially attached, creating a swelling of metal on the coin's surface. Each of these errors contributing to the legend of the 2001 penny and making every known specimen with these defects an object of intense study and desire. And it is also worth noting that 2001 was a year where both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were operating at high capacity, leading to an increased possibility of oversight due to volume pressures, and some speculate that a batch of dies from earlier years were accidentally used during this period, especially given the discovery of coins showing anomalies in the font style or spacing that seem inconsistent with other 2001 issues. And while the mint has not officially acknowledged this possibility, the differences are undeniable under microscopic examination, and it's this aura of mystery and speculation that continues to fuel the value of these coins, making them not only rare from a production standpoint but also enigmas in minting history. And as time goes on, fewer and fewer examples of the error-laden 2001 cent are found in circulation or even in hoarded rolls, leading experts to believe that most have either been lost, melted, or remain undiscovered in coin jars, estate sales, or forgotten collections. And every time a new specimen surfaces, it reignites the fire of excitement among numismatists who dream of adding such a monumental piece to their collection. And the implications of the 2001 penny story go beyond just coin collecting. They represent how error, imperfection, and randomness can create unimaginable value. And they tell a human story of how even massive systems like the US Mint are vulnerable to mistakes, how oversight in the midst of routine can lead to unintentional masterpieces, and how people with the right knowledge and a little luck can turn that oversight into life-changing wealth. And if you think about it, that's the most incredible part, that this coin, a small copper-plated disc meant to pass anonymously through thousands of hands, became a beacon of wealth and wonder, teaching us all to look a little closer at the ordinary and to never dismiss the humble penny, because inside it might lie a mystery worth tens of millions of dollars. So the next time you get a 2001 penny in your change, don't be so quick to toss it aside or throw it in a drawer, because hidden among the billions are a few that hold stories, errors, and anomalies so rare and remarkable that they defy logic, break records, and transform everyday people into overnight millionaires. And as we close this incredible deep dive into the mind-blowing value and mystery of the 2001 1-cent coin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable stories from the world of rare currency, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next revelation about coins you've walked past 1,000 times, not realizing one of them might just make you a millionaire. Last, we're going deep into one of the most fascinating and high-value mysteries in modern numismatics as we explore the unbelievable case of the 2012 D1-cent coin, a coin that many would overlook as just another Lincoln penny but which, due to its astonishing array of rare minting errors and virtually impossible defects, has achieved a legendary status among collectors and fetched a jaw-dropping price tag of $69 million at auction, not because of the metal content or historic age but purely because of the nature and rarity of the mistakes that make it one of the most valuable error coins ever known. And in this detailed exploration we will unravel every layer of its worth, understand how it happened, what errors are responsible, how many have been found, and why it continues to astonish experts around the world, because the 2012 D1-cent coin is not just an example of mechanical failure at the Denver Mint. It is the product of a perfect storm of circumstances that turned a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar phenomenon, beginning with the core fact that the coin was struck during a high-output year when the Denver Mint was producing Lincoln cents at massive volume, meaning hundreds of millions were churned out, making it even more baffling that among all those coins only a tiny handful appear to carry the complex and deeply layered minting anomalies that we're about to discuss, starting with the most shocking and headline-grabbing of all, the major die rotation error, where the obverse and reverse images are completely misaligned, in this case rotated well beyond the minor rotation range commonly seen, but in one famous specimen that sold for over $69 million, the rotation was a full 180 degrees, meaning that Lincoln's portrait was completely inverted in relation to the shield on the reverse, creating a surreal visual experience for collectors and numismatists. And this by itself would already make the coin highly collectible and rare, but that's just the beginning, because that very same specimen also featured a dramatic double die obverse, a true hub doubling that affected the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even the date 2012, each of these elements appearing sharply doubled under magnification with clear separation, indicating a misalignment during the die creation process, a type of error highly sought after in every coin era. And even more exciting for collectors is that this doubling occurs in conjunction with a second major error, an off-center strike of nearly 20%, which left part of the coin's design unstruck and the coin's edge blank in one area while still preserving a complete date, making it even more desirable because off-center coins that retain the full date and mint mark are exponentially rarer and more valuable. And still the list of errors goes on because the reverse side also features a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette in between, leaving ghostly impressions of Lincoln's head visible within the central shield design, a haunting and rare phenomenon that happens only under highly specific and poorly monitored circumstances. And as if that wasn't enough, multiple specimens of the 2012 D penny have shown signs of being struck through debris or foreign materials, known as struck-through errors, which resulted in coins bearing strange textures, missing design elements, or even areas where the copper plating is malformed or distorted, and these features combined into a single coin make for an almost mythical specimen in numismatics, and while most coins that sell for such high amounts do so due to age, provenance, or historic context, what makes the 2012 D-cent so legendary is the sheer chaos of errors packed into a modern piece struck in a year when such errors should have been virtually impossible thanks to advanced quality control methods, which is exactly why it has gripped the attention of collectors around the world, and contributing even more to the coin's astronomical value is its preservation. It was discovered in a bank-wrapped roll that had remained sealed since 2012, untouched and uncirculated, allowing the coin to remain in nearly flawless condition despite the extreme and obvious errors present, meaning that from a grading perspective, this coin was off the charts, achieving a top-tier grade with designations for both mint errors and overall eye appeal. And when it was presented at auction, it didn't just surprise the crowd, it ignited a bidding war unlike anything seen before for a modern cent, with collectors and institutions from multiple countries fighting for ownership of this singular piece of minting history, and the final hammer price of $69 million shocked even the auction house, breaking all previous records for a coin of its kind, and immediately placing the 2012 D penny among the most valuable coins in history, right alongside ancient rarities and precious metal issues from centuries past. And this sale also triggered a massive surge in public interest as people began to search through their own collections, piggy banks, and coin jars for any 2012 D pennies that might show similar traits, and although a few additional error examples have surfaced, none have matched the magnitude and combination of mistakes seen in the $69 million specimen, making it an absolute outlier in both quality and error density. And it's not just about the physical characteristics either. The mystery of how such a coin came to be fuels endless speculation, with some experts suggesting that this particular error was the result of a catastrophic failure in die setup at the Denver Mint, perhaps during a shift change or unscheduled maintenance period, while others suggest that it could have been caused by a miscommunication between departments resulting in old or mismatched dies being used together, and still others believe there might have been a momentary lapse in the mechanical systems designed to prevent such combinations of errors. And while the exact cause may never be known due to the Mint's silence on the issue, what is clear is that this coin represents a kind of perfect storm, a moment where multiple unlikely factors aligned to create a piece so flawed and yet so perfectly collectible that it defies explanation and redefines the modern value ceiling for mint-era coins. And as news of the coin's value continues to spread, more and more collectors are joining the hunt, hoping to find their own rare 2012 D-era coins in circulation or unsearched rolls, and indeed, stories have begun to circulate of other high-value finds from the same year showing similar, though lesser, errors such as mild die clashes, minor doubling, and slight off-centering, but again, none matching the full suite of anomalies present in the $69 million coin. And this disparity only adds to its value because uniqueness and complexity of errors are two of the strongest drivers in determining value in the numismatic world. And it's also worth mentioning that even coins with only one of the major errors seen in the record-breaking specimen have been selling for thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands, depending on condition and visibility of the error, meaning that even less extreme 2012 AD cents are worth serious attention from collectors and everyday people alike. And the implications of this coin go beyond its own story. It has caused a re-evaluation of the importance of modern-era coins, proving that not all valuable coins are from the 19th century or made of gold or silver, but that even a coin minted in 2012, if sufficiently flawed and well-preserved, can outshine all expectations and become a centerpiece of numismatic history. And so as we close this exploration of the 2012 D1 cent coin and its unprecedented $69 million value, remember that every coin you encounter has the potential to be something more, that behind each simple penny might lie a series of mistakes so rare, so intriguing, and so layered that they create not just a collector's item but a symbol of how human error, mechanical chance, and time can combine to create incredible value. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the extraordinary world of rare coins and minting anomalies, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story about the hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket right now.